rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land.
Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Shall we rally and war for the coppers will settle the score?
Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light.
From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The forever burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Hear a call, we rally and roar for America first. We'll
rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land.
Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Shall we rally and war for the coppers will settle the score?
Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light.
From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The forever burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Hear a call, we rally and roar for America first. We'll
rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land.
Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Shall we rally and war for the coppers will settle the score?
Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light.
From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The forever burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Hear a call, we rally and roar for America first. We'll
rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land.
Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Shall we rally and war for the coppers will settle the score?
Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light.
From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The forever burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Hear a call, we rally and roar for America first. We'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Killer call, we rally and war for America first, we'll settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With united resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar for America first. We'll rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land.
Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait.
Killer call, we rally and war for America first, we'll settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With united resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Fuck you. War. For 14 years, those SOBs in Washington tried to buy my vote. They couldn't buy it. They decided to buy the seat. And it got real expensive for them. What was God's purpose? What is he showing us tonight? We're just getting started. I like that. Didn't mean to do this. It started out as an election and it turned into a movement. I mean, we stirred up something. There is a yearning in this country for somebody who will vote for principles over party. And they saw the influencers here, they panicked. They sent the Secretary of War here, and you stopped the war for a day. No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. They said you should eat bugs. Do you want to eat bugs? They said you'll own nothing and be happy about it. You want to do that? Well, guess what happened? We took out the CEO of the World Economic Forum with a 2-page bill. Today is the 6-month anniversary of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. We've taken out 24 CEOs, an ambassador, a prince, a prime minister, a minister of culture, and that was just 6 months. I got 7 months left in Congress. They're talking about this big ballroom they're going to build, and it looks like the Roman Empire. I see a few analogies there. We weren't really running against Ed Gowron. We weren't running against Donald Trump. We were running for what we believe in. We got to take care of America first. You are patriots, and you will inherit this country, and you will make it better. And I am hopeful because of that. We need to bring this country together. What happens in 2028? Oh, you want me to run for Congress again? All right, well, you made a compelling argument.
I believe very sincerely that the CIA is correct when they teach and talk about blowback.
A new study finds most immigrant households in America are on welfare, including legal migrants. which is weird because a rich country can cherry-pick the top 0.1% of immigrants, the Elon Musks, Peter Thiels, Alexander Graham Bells, draining the brains, talents, and capital of the world. Instead, we mostly import welfare cases. The numbers come from the Center for Immigration Statistics, who tally by country of origin, finding a low of 19% for Canadian immigrants, which is still too high. It should be 0. Then it escalates fast, hitting 1 in 3 Chinese immigrants, half of Colombians, 2/3 of Mexicans, and over 80% of Afghans, and, of course, Somalis. Altogether, 47% of immigrant households use one or more of cash welfare, food stamps, Medicaid, Section 8 housing, which is nearly double the rate of natives. Not very cherry-picked. It's worse because millions more take child tax credit, which is $2,200 per year, and earned income tax credit, EITC, which gives migrants up to $8,000 per year. Of course, for illegals, it's much worse. CIS estimates almost 2/3 access traditional welfare, and once they have the anchor baby or open a leering centers, it is off to the races. Summing it up, according to the Federation for American Immigration Reform, illegals alone are draining $150 billion a year, taking 6 times in welfare what they pay in taxes. So how did it get so bad? Before the 1960s, immigration to the U.S. was lean and the quality was high. We banned migrants likely to on welfare, along with communists, and national quotas favored Northwest Europe. This all changed in the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, which abolished national origins, replaced with family reunification instead of skills. So instead of high-quality migrants, the system shifted to poor countries that have massive families get one in, the whole village is in. This, combined with the 1960s welfare state, Lyndon B. Johnson's so-called Great Society, that created a $1 trillion magnet that drew in tens of millions of third-worlders. So Hart-Celler opened the barn doors. Welfare called the entire world to feast. Annual legal migration went from 200,000 to over 1 million. That's not counting illegals. America's foreign-born population went from 5% in 1969 to 1 in 5 today, 1 in 4 if you count illegals, who now make up 1/3 of welfare cases that were meant for poor Americans. So as next brought to you by The Bitcoin Way, Trump has focused on illegals as he should, but we also need to fix an immigration system that imports 540 welfare cases for every cherry pick. Restricting immigration to Europe and maybe Japan, Korea, and Taiwan is not going to happen anytime soon, but we can do what Japan, Korea, and Taiwan do, which is an immigrant point system, so you do take only the best. All 3 use a mixture of education, salary, concrete skills, IT finance, investment capital, and a history of starting successful businesses. This eliminates the welfare cases, it dramatically reduces the criminals, and it turns immigrants into an asset who create more jobs and pay more taxes than they take. Alas, cherry picking also reduces the number of migrants. There's only so many cherries in the world, meaning Democrats will fight it tooth and nail, but America cannot be the world's welfare office and still remain a middle-class country. Follow for daily videos. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
Charlie Alexander from the mean streets of Broomall, PA. What's up, commie tyrants? Stormy weather we're having, huh? Christine, it seems no houses fell on you on the way in here. That's a shame. Anyway, let's talk about how this is the last open mic night of the Delaware County Council since you cowards are moving the time to 1 p.m. when most people are at work. Let's recap all the commie tyrant bullcrap you've done since we concerned citizens of Delaware County started coming to meetings in April of 2024. Number 1, you first took all the chairs from this room and made people sit in jury rooms to watch the meeting to limit participation. Illegally, by the way. 2, you changed the time we could enter the building from 5:15 to 5:45. 3, you took away the detachable microphone to stop me from addressing the crowd. 4, you upped the park police presence from 2 to 4 guys to what, 10 to 15 here for every meeting now? 5, you took away the second public speaking time, so now we only get 3 minutes instead of 6 minutes at each meeting. Amazing, all the tactics you commies have used against citizens of Delaware County from expressing their First Amendment rights. Just one of the many reasons why concerned citizens of Delaware County will take this council back in 2027 for the people of Delaware County. Question, What's going on in Don Guanella with these new signs that you guys have that say "Do not enter"? What are you hiding, or are you trying to entrap a private citizen for trespassing? Monica, now that you're back, does your father-in-law own property that this county is renting from him for the health department? That's word on the street that I keep hearing, and that seems like some shady bullcrap. If so, you should resign in shame. Also, why do we need on the agenda tonight another kiosk for $100,000? These things sell for 10 grand. Who is getting the kickbacks who's getting kickbacks from these kiosks? Originally, we were spending $200,000 per kiosk. Then it got down to like $163,000, and now we're adding an additional one just for the rest of the year for $100,000. Who is making that money out of our opioid dollars? Because that's the citizens of Delaware County that should get those opioid dollars, not somebody getting kickbacks for a kiosk to rent when it could be purchased for 10 grand. I mean, please, somebody say something. Why are we spending over $100,000 to rent a machine that can be bought for $10,000? That's corruption. Whose family is involved in that company? I would love to know, and I'm sure the citizens of Delaware County would love to know whose family member is involved in that business. Because there's no way that one of those kiosks should rent for that much. What, for condoms? And as Gary pointed out one time, you guys could set up and rent a business front and hand out the things and actually support a small business. God bless.
All right, welcome to the Killer Carl podcast. Now that's bringing the heat. We need more of that. The Flip Philly Red movement. We need one of those in every single inner city in the United States. We have one in Chicago. We have one in Philly. That's how we take this country back. That's how we take this country back. Now, let me just give you a little update on my man, Michael Constellaro. Right? You've seen him on here. He had the private IPO equity fund. So he was before the judge for his sentencing. Michael got 11 years in prison. He's supposed to surrender September the 10th, 2026, and they gave him an additional year for media. You see, that's what we're dealing with, folks. Right? We're dealing with a corrupt political system, you just saw it there, and a corrupt judicial system. And they all work hand in hand. Let's just be honest. You know, the fact that the company that Michael and his partners had is still operating today. It's still operating today. Making profit, making money, but this man that our politicians are telling us all the time, and by the way, on both sides. When we have illegal invaders come into our country, that we can't separate families. Can't separate families. We can't separate families. It's all we hear. But yet they have no problem. No problem separating Michael from his 2 young kids and his wife and taking his house and kicking his wife and children out onto the street. But our tax dollars are paying for a bunch of freeloaders that invaded our country, are stealing from us, stealing our jobs. You don't hear anybody coming out, any of these politicians coming out and siding on Michael's side. We can't separate a family. What did he do? All of the clients made money. They were all happy. The handler's still running the business, and it's profitable. I mean, President Trump, where the hell are you? Why are you not pardoning this man? His business partner, 60-some years old. You're going to throw her in prison for 11 years too? It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace, and it makes me sick. You know, I consider Michael a good friend of mine, and it breaks my heart that he has to go home and face his kids. And prepare his family to be kicked out onto the streets because our federal government targets the American people using our tax dollars. Using our tax dollars and weaponizes them against us while allowing Haitians, Somalians to rob us blind. Nobody goes to prison for that. Look at the only person that went to prison in Minnesota. It's a white woman. An American white woman. Not a Somalian. Not a politician. And I don't care the color of your skin. Every damn American that was born here and pays taxes here should be pissed off like I am. We're not getting any change. I got a video that I'm going to let you all watch. Right? So all you boomers out there, all you so-called MAGA people, right? Get your little blanket on like dildo here and your pacifier, because you're not going to like what I have to say. And I don't really care. Go crawl into a corner and suck your thumb. Because I know a lot of you just can't handle hearing the truth or the opposition or anybody that's come out and been kicked out of the cabinet. Come out and start to voice what they experienced. What they did to Thomas Massie, let me tell you something. You don't have to like him. Look at his voter base. All young people. All young people. 40 and under. 40 and under. What you've done by going after Massie, and by the way, using AIPAC, all you've done is create a movement. What was Massie's crimes? What? He wanted the Epstein files released? Well, I believe all of you have just created a hornet's nest. All I can say is I just played, and I'm not going to play it again, my cold open. I just played Massie's last final statement when he called and he conceded, and at the end, what do they show? They show Ed Galrain's victory party. There's like 50 people there. And they all look like they just got out of the retirement home. Look at Massie's. It was full of young people. Young people that are disenfranchised by what? H-1B visas. Illegal in this country, stealing our jobs. Right? And all you say out there, all you MAGA people, all you say is, oh, good riddance. Good riddance. You're going to live to regret those words, I promise you. I promise you. Right? Because I've already said it. They're doing it right here. Bob Brooks, classic example. Pennsylvania. District 7. Ryan McKenzie, congressman, U.S. Congressman, District 7, took the seat from Susan Wild, rode in on Trump's coattails. Now they've got a candidate, Bob Brooks, firefighter, bartender, electrician, welder, endorsed by Bernie Sanders. But he's out there talking to the people. He's going into the inner cities. He's connecting with people. He's telling them what they want to hear, even if he can't deliver it, just like Mandani did. Because we have disenfranchised youth in this country because we have allowed the American dream to be stolen from every single one of them. That's why Thomas Massie resonates with them. You want to know why the Epstein files are so important? It's called accountability. It's called letting people see that no matter how much money you have, how connected you are, you can't get away with walking and hurting people. Walking on people and hurting them. That's what it represents. That's what it represents to the young people. The people, by the way, all you old geezers out there, not you, Tony, all you old geezers out there that'll sit there and say, we don't need the young vote. Oh, yeah, you do. How do you think Trump won in 2024? That young,
definitely need it.
Yes, that young, disenfranchised voter. And by the way, people that listen to Joe Rogan, people that listen to the new enemy, Tucker Carlson, right? All those people. Now you have Trump out on the I've got to save the world tour every other Monday. Oh, Iran wants a deal. They want a big deal badly. Oh, do they? If they wanted a deal so bad, wouldn't we fucking have it by now? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a friend. Now, people, relax. Get in your safe space here. Get in your safe space. Get your pacifier and your little Trump blanket and your dilly poster and go hide in the corner with your thumb in your mouth. Because you can't handle reality or the truth. I'd like to welcome Big Tony as I go off on my rant. As you can tell, I've rested up.
Rant away, man.
And I am hot under the collar.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I am hot under the collar.
And yes, we do desperately need that younger vote.
Absolutely we do. And you know what? America 93, yes, we got the black and Latino vote. Do you want to know who's being the most disenfranchised right now by the illegal invaders that have not been removed from our country? And by the way, I got a little video that we're going to watch. Oh, from who? Oh, Megyn Kelly. Oh, Megyn Kelly. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm not talking about Megyn Kelly. What about Gregory Balvino? I remember you all loved him when he was in Minnesota. Remember that? All loved him in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's not in the administration and he's bringing some hard truth. Oh, you're not going to like him now, are you? Kelly. Oh, Megyn Kelly. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm not talking about Megyn Kelly. What about... You got to pipe down the volume. There you go.
Sorry.
I hate hearing myself. No worries. I hate hearing myself. Hey, Larry, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well, Brother Carl. How's Brother Carl and Brother Tony today?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Man, I am pumped up and hyped. I'm pissed. My boy Michael got 11 years and an extra year for doing media.
Wow.
Pre-IPO, venture capital company. Nobody lost money.
That is
insane. But yet, think about this. I want this to soak in. I really want this to soak in to everybody's head out there, because that could be us. That could be us.
Very easily.
That could be us. The government could decide they don't like what you're doing. Let me look at your taxes. Let me flip you upside down. I don't like what this is. I'm manufacturing lies about you, and now you're going to pay the price. Do you hear anybody saying, we can't separate Michael from his children? That's what they say about the illegal invaders that come into our fucking country and break the law. Now we've got Trump approving all these H-1B visas left and right. Left and right. Now they're starting to talk about amnesty for some of these illegals. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Just relax, people. Again, I would recommend, because you're not going to be able to handle this, get your little blankie right here, right? Get your dilly blankie and your poster and your little pacifier, because, God forbid somebody brings up something about Trump that's actually accurate that doesn't fit your narrative. Oh. All right, here we go.
Let me start it off right where we are as a show, because we were shocked to hear Tom Homan go on CBS News and sound like the door was potentially open in a Trump administration to amnesty. Here he was on CBS on May 5th, SOT 58.
Would you support a compromise, sir, that involves giving legal status to the millions of people who are here illegally but are otherwise law-abiding, including dreamers?
I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that. That's president. I work for the president, so that's.
But something has to be done to address that population, or is the solution to deport them all?
I'm not going to get ahead of the president. That's the president's talking to various members of his cabinet. There's discussions going on. I'm involved with some and not others, but I'm not going to get ahead of the president on this.
So he says he's not going to get ahead of the president when asked if they're getting ready to give amnesty to some faction of the illegals, which, everybody was like, what? Did somebody jump into Tom Homan, who we love, into his head and reprogram things? What's happening? And then he came out with Will Cain over on Fox and suggested that he'd been taken out of context in that exchange. We went back and looked at it. There was nothing out of context. The question was very simple. The answer was ambiguous. He wouldn't just say, we want all the illegals out, and that's our goal. He said, I don't want to get ahead of the president, when specifically asked whether there's an amnesty deal potentially in the works. So then I asked my team, Gregory, I'm pretty sure that Homan has said in the past, when asked this same question, no, all illegals have to go, and was never hesitant to say all illegals have got to go, and didn't try to hedge, I'm not going to get ahead of the president. And this is what we found when we look back to see his rhetoric on that issue.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table. Every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country legally, you got a problem. If you're in the country legally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. But when we find him, he's going to be with others, most likely. Many times you're with others. If they're in the country legally, they're coming too. We're going to have a mass deportation, but we're going to prioritize the arrest of criminals and public safety threats. I'd said from day one, if you're in the country legally, you're not off the table. No one's off the table. If you're in this country in violation of law, we will deport you when we find you. It's that plain and simple. If you're in the country illegally, you're never off the table. Let me say this. If the message we send is you can enter this country legally, it's a crime, don't worry about it. You can have your due process, show up in court, not show up in court, get ordered removed, don't worry about it. Unless you commit a serious crime, you're good to go. If that's the message we send to the world, you're never going to fix this problem.
Okay, so how did we get from that to question, would you support a compromise that involves giving legal status to the millions of people who are here illegally but are otherwise law-abiding, including dreamers? Homan, I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that. I work for the president.
Megan, the first thing I would say on that is don't be a politician. Border czar's not a politician. Border Patrol agents aren't politicians. It's black and white. As you said, that's a black and white subject. You're either here illegally or you're not. If you're here illegally, then those mass deportations make sense for everyone, every single one of those illegal aliens here. Going back and hedging on that, or not wanting to get ahead of another politician on that, vastly different than what we heard a year ago. And when we heard that a year ago, we heard that loud and clear, not just from Tom Homan, but all through the administration. We heard that loud and clear, and we acted accordingly. It does seem like things have changed over this past year. And whether that's towards amnesty or less deportations, I think the book's still open on that.
There is reporting, including from The Atlantic, that reports in January, the Labor Department's Foreign Labor Certification Office announced it would cut the number of approved visas for seasonal workers by about 50%. Stephen Miller had been trying for a long time to get these things cut. He did not want a lot of seasonal workers coming in. But they report that after those two people were killed in Minneapolis, Trump reversed the visa cuts, and that Miller was not even aware of the walkback that Trump made.
And yes, he did. Yes, he did reverse them. Right? So all you sheeple, right? You Trump sheep, right? That don't want to hear the truth. Now you're okay with the illegal aliens coming here and staying here because Trump says it's okay? It's just a question. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you all are. I'm not. I want every single illegal alien out of this country. I don't care about dreamers. I don't care about grandmas. I don't care about infants. You can take the infant and you can launch it over the wall for all I care. It's not my problem. I was promised mass deportation. And by the way, I saw another interview with Gregory Balvino. And he said one of the reasons he was let go because he was too mass deportation, right? And the person that replaced him, that now they're firing, and they're saying he had an affair with prostitutes in Taiwan. He was flying over there, which was investigated years and years ago and found out not to be true, but they're bringing it up again, just like they did with Massey, right? Oh, he's sleeping with this person, just like they did with Matt Gaetz, right? This is what they do. It's all fucking lies. All these scumbags in Washington, D.C. are all cheating on their wives, sleeping with each other. They're all dirtballs. Sorry.
Preach it,
it's
brother.
The truth. It's the truth. For any one of them to point a goddamn finger at the other one is absolutely disgusting. I am completely fed up with our political system. I'm fed up with... And by the way, the Senate, what'd they do today? They gave Donald Trump a big double-barrel New Jersey salute. You know why? Because they look at him as a lame duck president, baby. That's exactly why. And he did it to himself. They see his approval rating. They see he's losing key factions of MAGA. Go ahead. You can listen to the CNN poll. It's all a crock of shit, folks. Sorry, it is. I talk to people every freaking day. That's the polling I do. I don't need a fucking fake poll. I talk to real people that supported Donald Trump, and now they are pissed. They don't care about fucking Iran. You know what they care about? Putting gas in their car, being able to pay their fucking mortgage, their electric bill, and put food on the fucking table and not have to compete against illegal aliens. That's what they fucking care about. They don't care about Bibi coming over here every fucking year talking about, what was it, back in the early 80s? Iraq is close to a nuclear weapon. Iran, They're close to a nuclear weapon. I can play the videos nonstop. And all you dense MAGA people out there that are sheep, you just can't see it. You make excuses. You know what? Making excuses for an administration that's driving you off a financial cliff, all because you can't, he's your God, you worship him. I don't worship any man. I worship Jesus Christ. That's it. And I don't trust any of these politicians. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's Thomas Massie. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't trust any of them. They all have their own vested interest at heart when it comes down to it.
These guys get elected, folks, by telling us what's wrong in the country. These guys get elected because they ride on rhetoric. These guys get elected and then forget who they're representing them. They're representing their own damn selves.
Of course they are. I mean, look at all the insider trading in the oil market that has been going on since this war started. Somebody in the White House is getting really fucking wealthy off of insider trading. Are you going to deny it? Are you going to deny it? Of course you are. Of course you are. Because you're sheep. You just can't see the truth because you're blinded by your worship of these people. That's what it boils down to. You're blinded by the worship of somebody that you turned into a fucking superhero that's not. He's a goddamn human being.
I guess I understand that within reason, Carl, because what you're saying is spot on. And I don't agree with you on everything, but I'm telling you what, you're spot on this one.
Every single one of us have disagreements with the other ones, at
Absolutely.
times.
And we still love each other when it's done. The problem I have, right?
The truth is the truth, period.
Yeah. The problem,
if you can't admit the truth, then what are you doing?
Live in your little shell.
Yeah, you live in a freaking bubble.
Right.
Half these people are, and no offense, if you're retired, that's great. Good for you. But you're not out there in the workforce. You're freaking retired. I'm out there in the damn workforce every single day talking to construction workers. By the way, one of the key voters for President Trump. Every day I'm out there talking to them. And they're not happy at all. Again, I'll just go through it real quick for all you dense MAGA sheep, because that's what you are. You're MAGA sheep. The price of construction materials has gone up and never come down. All right, a scraper blade that I used for the past 2 weeks. Normally, I could buy that scraper blade for about $100. $250 within a 6-month period. Nails, right? Finish nails. Simple, cheap. Used to be able to get them for $25. $40 now. $40. Flooring staples to staple down your hardwood floor. Yeah, America 93, you can go blah, blah, blah all you want, dude. And you can discount the pain of your fellow American, but it doesn't make that pain not real, my friend. You're no better than the Biden administration when they told everybody it was transitory. When they told everybody the inflation's not that bad. It's not real. You're the same as them. Exactly the same. You go into a chat and you point out these things in a chat in one of these shows, and everybody's like, oh, bounce them out. No, you want to censor people. You're a fucking Democrat. That's what you're acting like, a damn Democrat. You talk about me having Democrat. I don't have Democrat talking points. I have normal fucking everyday American, reasonable, trying to work, pay your bills, seeing my fucking kids struggle to buy a fucking house. That's what I am. Yeah, maybe you're rich, dude. Maybe you have all this money. Most Americans aren't. And most of the people that voted for Donald Trump aren't rich. They're middle class and poverty level. And they're the ones that are getting fucked right now because Donald Trump decided he was going to go help Bibi Netanyahu facilitate the Greater Israel Project at the expense of the American taxpayer's dollar and the American economy. That's the reality of it.
If we continue to close our eyes to this, what Carl's talking about, if you continue to close your eyes to it, you can go ahead and do that, but it's not going to go away.
It isn't. It's going to get worse. You know what's going to happen next Monday? Let me make a prediction. Friday, Trump will say, extend it again. He extended the ceasefire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That red line in the sand. Remember everybody kept on busting Obama's balls about the red line in the sand kept moving? Well, here we are, folks. It keeps moving. Are you going to deny it? How many times have we had this ceasefire extended? Anybody? I was told that Iran would collapse in 2 weeks a month ago. And I said, no, they weren't. No, they won't. Oh, yes, they will, dummy. What do you know? Well, obviously, I know a hell of a lot more than all you out there because y'all came down on me and said, they're going to collapse in 2 weeks. They're not collapsing. They don't want a deal because if they wanted a deal, they would have fucking made the deal by now. China is back funneling weapons to them, and so is fucking Russia. They can sustain this for a long damn time.
Yeah.
Longer than the American economy can, and they know it. Why do you think Trump went over to China and was groveling for Xi Jinping to help him out with this? A quick question. We were told that if we wanted to open the Straits of Hormuz, we could. Right? Isn't that what Pete Hegseth said? Of course we thought about that. And we're going to open it. And I said from the beginning, it can't be open. It's a killing field. Oh, you're a moron. Oh, we're going to open it. Oh, yeah? Not open yet, bitch. I mean, it's like you say these things and you lay it out. People call you names and morons, and it's weeks and weeks after the fact, and it's still the same. And Monday, you're going to hear, they want a deal. They really want a deal badly. Oh, do they? Yeah, I hear that every fucking Monday. Friday, you say they want a deal to try to plunge down the oil markets, and then you paddle it through all week long. They don't want a deal. They don't. We should not be over there. The best thing Trump could do right now, hands down, is declare victory, get the fuck out of there, and let Israel, who we send a ton of money for defense to, let them clean up the mess. They don't want to. They want us to do it. They're too busy killing Christians in Lebanon. All right. There you go. That was my spiel for today. You know what? I'm sorry.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
It's so aggravating to me. We don't have to be here. We don't have to be in this position right now. The economy was roaring. And the thing that pisses people off so fucking much right now is they saw gas prices coming down. And anybody that lies to you and tells you those gas prices are going to come down quick, they're full of shit. And if you believe that, you're full of shit. And you're dumb as a box of rocks. Because it's going to take a long time for those gas prices to come down. And the wave of inflation that's going to follow. Remember, every month of high gas prices, gas over $90, over $80 a barrel. 3 months of inflation. And it just compounds. We had a horrific treasury auction a couple of days ago. It was horrific. That tells you nobody has confidence in the dollar. But we're winning. Amnesty for illegals, we're winning. You know, pulling back the deportations, we're winning. No, we're not. I didn't vote for any of that. Oh, but the question is would you rather have Kamala in? No, you dumbass. That's why I voted for Trump. I want cheap oil, cheap energy, and a rip-roaring economy.
Absolutely.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life when people ask that. It shows your intelligence level. It's like the intelligence level of a kindergartner. Well, I guess you'd rather have Kamala in. Oh, yeah. That's why under Biden I was bitching about high gas prices. And I'm bitching about them now. I mean, these fucking people are just retarded. That's why they're sheep. That's why they're sheep. They can't think for themselves. Yeah, they can't think for themselves. They're sheep. They go and they get their little blanket here, right here. They get their blanket and they get their little pacifier and they cuddle up and live in their little bubble. Oh, let's listen to Dildo today. He's gonna tell me what I want to hear. Sorry. I'm in one of those moods, man, because I'm just so sick of it.
I love it.
I am so just up to my eyes with this bullshit. Interest rates aren't coming down. They're going to have to raise them a fucking quarter of a point just to stem the inflation that's coming. It doesn't matter that that Trump's swearing in the new Fed chair. It doesn't matter. He's in a position now. He's in a position.
The old one still isn't actually gone.
So what's up, Big Tony? Did you get that thing I sent you? You called that.
Yes.
You called that, and I woke up the next fucking morning. I woke up the next fucking morning, and I'm like, Big Tony called this. A trans couple.
Yeah. I mean, the left is vehemently trying to deny it, but you can't deny it. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, and I had somebody comment to me, not on my show, but on another platform, that what was it? They had anti-trans hate in their quote manifesto. Well, so did several of the previous trans shooters.
Yeah.
Okay. They had anti-trans hate in their manifestos. They hated themselves. Okay. I'm sorry, but having the anti-trans hate in your manifesto doesn't make you not trans. So.
No, yeah. Yeah, you know how many white people hate themselves because they're white?
Right.
All right, look at Pocahontas. I mean, it's that simple. Look at Pocahontas.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, Dan, the drummer, man, it's nice to see you in the chat again, brother. Thanks for following me on Rumble again. I appreciate it. We're trying to build it back up. I think we'll get there. Right, slowly but surely.
Hey, I shouted you out on my show earlier, right before I came here.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I
gave him where to go to follow you, everything. So
I really appreciate that. You know, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I think you know this about me, Tony. Like I always try to help everybody I can. You know, that's to me. I look at it as we all win together. You know,
right.
When we all work together, we get a message out. And like I said, we're not always going to agree. To me, I wouldn't want all three of us to agree on everything because it makes a very boring podcast radio show. It's like a circle jerk. It's like Sean Hannity. Oh, you're a great American. Oh no, you're a great American. It's like a gay fest. right? It's like two people that's like a circle jerk. Who wants that? That's boring as hell. What's up, Larry?
Well, buddy, I've been staying on with James. We had a good podcast last night.
Awesome.
For Barstool Politics, and he fell asleep.
During it?
During the interview, he fell asleep. And
Larry, I could not handle that. I don't know if you know what happened. The last time we thought James fell asleep, he almost died on us. I had to call 911.
Yeah, that was when he ended up in the hospital.
In the hospital. I had to call 911 live on the podcast. I didn't have his address. Thank God my wife did. I'm trying to call Brandy. Brandy's not picking up. And I'm like, shit, what do I do?
Oh, my.
And I even tried blasting my megaphone into the thing to wake him up. Remember that big
Yep.
Hey, Raider, what's up, brother? I even tried to blast the megaphone just to wake his ass up. And that's when everybody's like, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
My wife's like, call 911. Call 911. So we called 911. And it was funny because I'm like, yeah, I'm calling from Allentown. And the lady's like, what? I'm like, I'm live on a podcast, and I think the guy is dying on the other, in Springfield. Classic though, classic.
I wish that our children had your passion, Carl. Matter of fact, you and Tony both. The people that care about this country and sit back and are forced to watch the foolishness that happens out here every single day. The passion you guys are carrying needs to be transferred over to our children, because that worries me. Our kids have a different attitude than what we had at that particular age. And if they don't wake up, they're going to get up one day and lose country.
I wish that love for your country, patriotism, was a communicable disease, because I would be spreading it everywhere. Straight up, I would be spreading it on purpose everywhere.
Well, Larry, if you think about it, I mean, a classic example why somebody like Mandani thrives, or this Bob Burks guy that's running for Congress in District 7 in Pennsylvania. The reason these people thrive is you have our kids, they go to college, they come out, they have debt, they can't find a job in the industry that they went to college for. Why? Because we have these H-1B visas coming in, stealing all the tech jobs, stealing all the service jobs. It's not happening. All for greed. All for greed.
Yeah. Also, they were sold a bill of goods. They were told, go out, get this particular degree, and you will come out of college and you'll be able to get this huge, gigantic salary and all of these benefits and everything. And when the fact is, they have no work experience, and that is a requirement. And they believe that getting their degree is experience. It's not. And so they come out and all they can get is entry level or less. And they become disheartened, disillusioned, and it's sad to see.
Well, it is, because they're in debt. They come out, they're either living in their mom's basement, or they're struggling, working a job and Ubering on the side or Grubhub on the side just to make ends meet. Their car insurance is through the roof. Their health insurance is through the roof. Their electric is through the roof. Their rent's through the roof. So you have a Mandani that goes, well, look at this millionaire with this $5 million, penthouse in New York. Not only does he have this, he's got another one in Florida. We're going to take money from him and give it to you, right? I call it the Robin Hood politician, because that's exactly what they are. Right? They're going to steal from the rich and give to the poor, even though that's not going to happen. Right? It never happens.
Parents aren't putting their kids out into the workforce at 16 years old anymore. They're coddling them.
All mine were.
They're letting them, just do whatever the heck they want, and then when it comes time, when they've graduated high school or they've gone on to college and got that degree and they come out, they don't have any work experience, and they try to go get that $250,000, $300,000 a year job that they were promised, and they can't get it because they have no work experience. So then they have to, at an older age than is normal, go and work at McDonald's or Burger King or wherever at below entry level. I mean,
Well, yeah, and think about how demeaning that is.
Right.
Okay, so I'll lay this out. So, my daughter Abby's boyfriend, right, went to school for graphic art, right?
Mhm.
And I live right outside of New York City, 45 minutes, right? Where you would think you would go. He actually lived in Vegas too, thinking that he could get a job in it easier out there. Nope, not happening. Why? Because it's all those jobs are done remotely from India, or their H-1B visas here doing that in America, right? So tries to get a job in a kitchen because he likes to cook. Who do you think's in the back of the kitchen making your food? Juan Valdez, right? Hector, Julio, all illegal aliens. All illegal aliens. Right? Spend all this money, go to school. And thanks, Dan. Have a great one, man. Spend all this money to go to school and can't get a job in the industry that he went to school for. Loves to cook, and he's having a hard time getting a job doing that. Now, he found one, and he likes the place, but it took a while, right? It took a while. And him and my daughter, they live here with me, and I'm glad they do. I love them. But it's difficult for young people like that to go out and get their own place. When I was a kid, I had my own place at 17, 18 years old.
Yep, I did too.
Right? Me and my wife, we had our own place. And I had a small child, Lacey, took care of her, and I've lived on my own ever since. You can't do that now.
No, you can't. I have a grandson. I know this firsthand. I have a grandson that went 5 years, got a BA in psychology, or whatever it is that they do for psychologists. And his job right now, currently, is he's a bartender. All this money that you owe for that particular field, and then you can't find a job in the field that you went to school for. But he's a bartender. And my granddaughter, she's in college now down in Athens, and I'm not even sure she knows what she wants to do. So I know what it is firsthand to see this kind of stuff. I do.
Well, it's sad. It's sad because here you are, telling your kids to do the right thing. And when I say we've stolen the American dream from our children, we've failed them. We've allowed this to happen. We've allowed, as an American society, we've allowed these illegal invaders to come into our country. We allowed China to take over our manufacturing. We allowed our politicians to do it. We allow our politicians to lie to us and do nothing about it.
Yep.
You know, at some point, and this is what I fear. This is what I fear. This is why your Mondanis are so popular. This is why your Bob Burks are so popular. They're promising things to people. They're promising things to people, even if they can't keep their promise. It's hope. It's hope for these kids. Hope that maybe they'll be able to afford that apartment in Manhattan. Hope that maybe that $30 job, even though they're not thinking that $30 job, Starbucks is just going to, we're leaving. Or they're going to automate it as much as possible. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about, I have a problem now and I want it solved. We live in a society of instant gratification.
Yes.
Nobody, like Big Tony said, nobody wants to work their way up. They want instant money, instant gratification. Yeah. That's our fault.
Yep. 100%.
How many parents just buy their kid an iPhone? I live in the hood. And I see kids with newer iPhones, more expensive iPhones than me in the hood. How is that possible? It's because my tax dollars make it possible.
That's right.
That's how it's possible.
If we don't change the attitude of our younger generation, what'd you say, Massey was attracting people under 40 years of age?
I think it was like 40 and lower.
If we do not do something or take an active step, this will be a socialist country someday. If we don't wake up and see what's happening within our education system, be it at any level that you want it to be at, they are indoctrinating our children with their own individual philosophies. They're throwing this.
Again, we allowed it.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We allowed it. I agree with you. But if it don't change, I'm worried about the future. I certainly am.
Oh yeah, most definitely worried about our country's future for our children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren.
Yeah,
you know, on down the line. You know, if we don't, find a way to change the direction that we're going, as a country, then we're screwed. What's going on, Jacob?
You look exhausted.
Hi, Jacob.
You look exhausted, Jacob. Bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Larry.
He was in a trance.
Well, I've got a new setup here, and like as I told you, I've been busy studying.
Yeah, it's an easy night anyway. Carl's on a roll.
You gotta walk me off. He came on to walk me off the cliff. That's what it is. He came on. So the one thing that I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about tonight too was remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about the ticks and Lyme disease and the government. Now all of a sudden you're hearing about this. What is it? Alpha-Gal syndrome?
Yeah, alpha-Gal. Yeah, that's something that we work with. I tell people that's not a forever thing. That's just a serious sign of the immune system's messed up. But yeah, we work with people with alpha-Gal.
Do you think that the government, because now I don't know how real this is. I've seen a couple of videos where people are finding boxes of ticks on their fucking property. Now I've heard it floated that these ticks that they're dropping are ticks that have been
genetically engineered,
genetically
modified not to be able to reproduce, to then wean the population of ticks down. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's the same thing with mosquitoes.
Yeah, similar to that. you introduce a whole lot of problems into the ecosystem with that.
Yeah.
And then when you start getting into conspiracy theories with ticks, you get this thing of them being genetically modified as bioweapons and having hundreds of genes rather than the few genes that a regular tick has. I don't make too fine a point on it. When a tick bites, you can get Borrelia burgdorferi. That is that's the name for Lyme, and you can get a whole bunch of other co-infections. It's either 80 or 200. It's an exhaustive list. We test for a lot of them, and we have tools specifically designed to detox, people that have chronic Lyme. And I got plenty of doctor buddies who have reversed Lyme in themselves and their family members. It's not a forever thing, but it's a very intense, complicated it's a nasty infection that can lead to a whole bunch of crazy chronic conditions like the alpha-gal being allergic to meat. At some point, I think people are blaming the government.
Because, I remember hearing about this a few years ago, right? I remember hearing about this alpha-gal a few years ago, and it kind of went away. Like maybe right after COVID. Yeah. And then it now it seems like it's starting to make the rounds again. And I don't know if it's because of this Ebola bullshit and the hantavirus and all these things that they're trying. Because, I'll be honest. I don't think the American people are going to fall for the scamdemic again. Even if it was a real epidemic, I feel like the American people just aren't going to buy it. Right. Whether it's the globalists, trying to, drop another bioweapon on America, or China, trying to drop another bioweapon on America, I don't think the American people are going to fall for it.
Yeah. Here's my 2 cents on it. One,
I'll take 3 cents.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a nickel.
All right, cool.
It's a problem that's getting more problematic. More chronic diseases are coming up. It's becoming the norm. It's overwhelming the medical system. Doctors really don't know how to fix any of this stuff. The Western allopaths with medicine, with pharmaceuticals, it's not going to fix the problem. And even a lot of, I've said before, a lot of your natural people are ill-equipped to handle this type of stuff. This is right up my realm. So I got an axe to grind on some of these things. The problems are getting more severe. Where the conspiracy comes in is the fact that you are having vaccines being prepared for this. So you're going to see an uptick in what we call like a soft disclosure or a predictive programming to get the population warmed up. So you've got to create a crisis, or you have to market the crisis. You have to advertise the crisis. Do I think it is real? Yes, we see plenty of people with this, and they're getting worse and worse and worse. Since Carl, you are asking, how does alpha-gal even happen in somebody? The easiest way to tell you is it is the consequence of severe immune dysregulation. Pesticides, especially glyphosate, are highly correlated with the onset of Lyme disease. I've said it before that germs are not your enemy, but germs will change their form and function. They'll become defensive and can become bad in the presence of poisons. Glyphosate, the main ingredient in Roundup, is often found bioenergetically with Borrelia in the joints, or Lyme disease in the joints. Glyphosate does a lot to piss off and make Borrelia burgdorferi become pathogenic, which is what we would call Lyme, a chronic Lyme. And then add insult to injury, a lot of the medications that are like seriously hitting hard antibiotics, IV antibiotics, putting PICC lines in people, a lot of times that will cause the Lyme to go dormant and make a cyst form, and it'll drive itself deeper and deeper into the tissues. And then when you're finally done with the, with the therapy, Then it comes back out to play, and now it's nestled much deeper in your tissues. It's inside of biofilms.
Your friends along with it.
Exactly. It is hooked up with the parasites. It's gone into those biofilms that you can't see. And now the immune system is unable to detect it. And at the same time, the immune system, the Th1, the Th2 balance, that's deeper than most people really know, but we have these Th1, Th2, Th17 are all really important when it comes to certain illnesses like this, mold, and parasites. You get an imbalance of that, you're in a world of pain. Now, Carl and Tony, for both of y'all, because you know that I gave y'all early access to that program, I have a lot of information on Lyme, how we view Lyme and how we tackle Lyme. It's in phase 5, and there's at least 2, if not 3 hours of deep dive video content on that, which covers alpha-gal and other stuff. So, and Carl, when it releases, that's going to be something I'm going to be giving to all of your people at a probably a significant discount.
See that? You see, I bring gifts, people, right? Jacob brings gifts, right? All to better your health, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's one of everybody to know this, because we're dying for a lack of information, and people are going to fall for anything when they don't have they just don't have a basic understanding. Yeah. Don't fear the Lyme disease. Don't fear the alpha-gal. If it's something you're dealing with or a family member's dealing with, get in touch with me. We have solutions for this stuff.
There you go.
I have a dumb question. Are we looking, Jacob, this goes for everybody. Could we be looking at COVID part 2?
I'm sure you're going to get tried. I'll put my 2 cents in on this. Sure, you're probably going to have it waiting in the wings. I don't know when and how they would try to do that. Mm-hmm. You start to find that a lot of these globalists I look at them kind of as one-trick ponies. It's when the con gets exposed, what do? You double down on the con. You never admit defeat. You just double down. And do I think it's going to be ticks? I really think a lot of it more has to do with 2 things. The fact that it is becoming more prevalent as people are getting sicker. Lyme and any other chronic illness rears its ugly head. And then 2, if I believe they're currently developing new types of vaccines for Lyme disease, then you're going to have the machine put out the propaganda, the narrative, and the scares, false flags, whatever you want to say, in order to subconsciously prepare the mind to accept it.
And that's what they do. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies are almost as disgusting as attorneys. Sorry, attorneys are crooks too, and they're thieves.
Just look at Fender.
It's pathetic to me. And again, any false flag, I believe, or any type of scamdemic, I believe it's going to come from China. Now, you saw China flex when Trump was over there. They flexed. They're like, yeah, no. You're a declining nation, and we're a growing, thriving nation. Right? And you saw Putin over there with it was like a bromance. You know, they're over there. They're giving Putin the golden treatment over there. China has no respect for the United States because we're all fools. We're all fools.
Yeah, nobody respects weak men.
All fools. We're over there fuddy-duddying around in the fucking Middle East again, depleting our weapons. What did Ford just do? Oh, they just started ramping up weapon production. Oh, why'd they do that? If we're so stocked up, why would they do that?
Because we're not all the ones before they go bad.
No, because
it's like you got to drink your milk before it sours.
We're not. We're not stocked up. Just like we can't open up the Straits of Hormuz. Why do you think Operation Freedom didn't last? There was a reason for that. Because it doesn't work. They can't do it. What, 2 American ships made it through, and then they bombed the fucking French ship and another one and sunk it. Doesn't sound like that was too effective to me. Just saying, folks. You know,
depends on who insured it.
Yeah. And, you know, China's over there just sitting back watching us do it. Right? Just sitting back watching us do it. And of course they're going to say, oh yeah, of course we want the Straits of Hormuz open. Oh yes, of course. We're not willing to help you. We're not willing to help you. As a matter of fact, we're going to continue to send weapons, even though we're telling you we're not. Then to continue to send weapons behind America's back to Iran and keep the regime propped up. But yeah, we want the Straits of Hormuz open. We're not going to help. No, they're just sitting back. And by the way, the Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all these oil production, all these members of OPEC, they don't want the price of oil to go down. They love this. They are absolutely loving this right now. They are making bank. So are the oil companies. Oh, and by the way, who else is making money? Oh, the military-industrial complex, because now we're using more weapons. Now they got to ramp up production. Right? Who's paying for this war? American taxpayer. American taxpayer. Just keep on adding to our children's debt. Just keep on going. At some point, it's going to collapse. By the way, we're facing a credit rating downgrade, by the way. The Treasury auction, remember I said earlier, was horrific. And we're facing a credit downgrade. Right? Oh, but we're winning. We're winning.
We're
Raider.
fooled around.
Bullseye. Promethean action. Yeah.
What's that?
I saw Raider put in there. Carl, check it out when you got some free time. They've been around for a long time. They've always put out really good reports. I think that they're on this. I think that they're over the target on a lot of the longer play. Remember when I would mention stuff about the British Empire kind of out of left field and how those things are relevant? They have a lot of good research on that. I think it's worth looking at it.
You too, Raider brother. Thanks for popping in. You know, just speaking about Memorial Day weekend. You know, Larry, I was out to dinner with my wife tonight, and there was this young lady and waitress, Brittany. And I said, Brittany, I said, do you know why we celebrate Memorial Day? Young, she's probably like, I'm going to say 25. What do you think her answer was?
Well, I don't think I understand your question, Carl.
So
my earphones.
Yeah, so I was out to dinner tonight, and our waitress, who we have quite frequently, Brittany, I asked her, Brittany, do you know why? She was about 25 years old. Do you know why we celebrate Memorial
Day? Yes. Well,
what do you think her answer was?
It's a holiday. Oh,
close.
Everybody recognizes it as a holiday, but it's a time that we remember.
Yes.
Remember that
she
the
said
cost for what we get to do here today was paid by somebody.
Yeah. The beginning of summer. That's what she said.
Yes. Well,
I'm like, no, hon,
but
not the beginning of summer. It's when we pay respect to the people that have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country.
Amen.
That's what it's about. And that's why I'm so against the war in the Middle East. Sorry. It's not Lindsey Graham over there fighting it. It's none of Donald Trump's kids over there fighting it. It's our kids. It's our kids. Our kids get to go die on a foreign battlefield. I don't care about the British Empire. The British Empire, at this point in time, is utterly useless. China gave them the globalists, the double barrel middle finger, and said, "We're done with you," and parted ways with them. They have very little power. The EU is pathetic.
So is the
they
EU.
fall into the radical Muslim jihadist. I don't believe it's about that. What I believe it's about, what I know it's about, because again, I can just play the videos. I can just play the videos of Bibi talking about how not Iran, Iraq was on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon. Right? Then after how we needed to do a preemptive strike where they were going to launch it on the world. And then after we did that, and by the way, in that same sentence, he said, I believe it will liberate Iran and it'll be a better peaceful place. In that statement, he said that. Well, it didn't do that, Bibi. It made Iran more hostile and more of a threat. Right? According to all the MAGA sheep, that's our biggest threat. Iran's our biggest threat. We cannot allow Iran to have nuclear weapons. The new talking point, nonstop. Well, we let North Korea have them, and they still have them. Right? That guy's unhinged. He kills his people.
He's definitely unhinged.
China's our biggest threat. I don't care what anybody says. And all you people that sat there for weeks and talked about, oh, this is killing China, it's crushing them, blah, 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 look at their economy. Nah, they're doing just fine. They're doing just fine. This isn't hurting them at all. They're laughing. They're laughing at us. That's all they're doing. So, I mean, you can have your QAnon talking points from the White House. You get your little pacifier there with your Trump.
And my blankie.
You put on your dildo show. Get all your White House talking points from dildo. And, you can feel good about yourself because you're hearing what you want to hear. And that's the problem with America and our society is people just want to hear what they want to hear. Anything opposite of what they want to hear, and it makes them uncomfortable and it makes them think outside of their regurgitated bubble box of influencers. Well, you're a traitor. You're a black pillar. You're not MAGA. You're a Democrat. You're this. You're that. So there's places you can go and go get your little blankie. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna sell the blanket and pacifier kit for all those MAGA sheep that you can just get. And so when I start to question our government, can you believe you're not allowed to question your government? You're not allowed to question your government.
It's our job.
No, only the Trump government. You're not allowed to question that administration at all. If you do, you're a traitor. You're a traitor, right?
We'll just have to take that chance because the truth is going to be out there one way or the other.
No.
Well, I mean, the truth is not something that comes naturally. Freedom and all of that are things that we have to I don't want to say take by force, but we have to establish it. It's not going to be guaranteed to give to us. We have to stake our claim. We have to and establish our dominion.
Yeah,
it's like with anything.
And quickly, let me respond to America 93. Because he's saying what I'm refusing to say is Iran is our biggest terrorist threat. No, because I believe China is killing millions of Americans by funneling fentanyl through the Mexican border and the drug cartel into our country. So that's a bigger threat than Iran and terrorists. By the way, isn't that why we have the Patriot Act and why we had to renew the Patriot Act, right, to protect us from the Al-Qaeda terrorist and the Iranian Isn't that what we were sold from Donald Trump? You know, you gotta have FISA. I want FISA passed. Well, we got it passed, so I'm not worried about it. You know what? Bibi gave Hamas millions of U.S. taxpayer dollars. So yeah, that's a threat. The same people that launched October 7th on him while they stood down, those people that he funneled money to, U.S. money, right, that attacked his own people. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. China's the biggest threat. You want to know why? Because China can just cut off our critical medical supplies at any time.
Besides owning our debt.
Fentanyl, all the backdoor, all the backdoor hidden fucking wormholes they have in all the software, all the shit that controls our water supplies, everything in our country. China's the biggest threat. Sorry, dude. I know you want to have your MAGA narrative, your MAGA sheep narrative, right? Where you want to believe everything that's told to you by the administration. I know you want to have this. I'll put it up for you. Maybe it'll make it a little more comfortable for you as I lay out the truth.
I gotta have this picture.
All the things that I just laid out are far more of a threat than Iran. How many Chinese military-aged men did Biden allow into this country? Tons. Right? Why were they here? You can't just leave China. It doesn't work that way. They were allowed to come here. Or are we denying that now? You know that they found and they've never fixed. You know the cranes that offload the container ships. You know that there is a back door in there allowing them to control the weight distribution on those cranes, and they can just topple them right into the fucking water there, right into the bay that China has in there. Do you know that?
Insane.
But you don't want to talk about that. You just want to be able to have your narrative because you know Donald Trump fucked up.
Yeah.
You just want to be able to carry that narrative. No, dude. Fentanyl is from fucking China, and it comes here and it kills people every fucking day. Look at fucking Kensington. Go look some videos up of fucking Kensington in Philadelphia. It's like a zombie fest.
I lost a brother to fentanyl.
Yeah.
I think part of that was the first thing out of my mouth was stupid. It's stupid to do the drug anyway, but millions of people are doing it, guys. And many people are taking this poison. It killed him deader than 4 o'clock.
I had a young kid, Dan, used to come to my house, friends with my daughter Lacey and my son Justin. Used to skateboard with my son Justin. Member of the family, came over here all the time. And maybe like 10 years ago, I get a call from his mother. I mean, he's been every day at my house. He used to eat here. I get a call, and a really good kid too. Like not the type of kid you would think would end up, dying. Yeah, he overdosed on fentanyl. Yeah. Died. Sorry, I blame China for that. Like I said, you can, I'm going to sell the blankie and the pacifier, so you'll be able to get that. Once I figure out how to complete my website that I've had forever, and I can't figure it out.
Depending on what it's built on, you can give me a call.
Yeah, GoDaddy.
I've built a number of websites and still maintain them for other practices and stuff. So
yeah, I might have to give you.
You run a business, you learn to make do. You learn skills real quick.
I'm pretty good with certain things, but like stuff like that, it's like, all right, I don't have enough time in my day to sit there and mess around with stuff like that. I started to kind of, they give you the free tools, and it's very generic on what you can actually do.
I remember where I was when I was looking at this and said, I have no background on this, and I had to fumble my way through things. But when you get people that pay you to essentially teach yourself to do something, like, I can do that, and then you just kind of figure out on the job.
When they're like, I'll build this. I think I got a quote from GoDaddy to build a site for me, and it was like $1,400. I'm like,
they're cheap, man. That's cheap.
I was like, that's not cheap to me. Something that I could probably figure out on my own. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Exactly.
I could do other things with $1,400. I could buy a lot of weed. I mean,
yep.
You could buy a Fender guitar, and hopefully you get a good one.
I don't see the problem with the weed.
Maybe even I could go down to the Martin factory and find one of their scratch and dent Martins.
Exactly. Yes. Get the one with
Martin right over there.
Beautiful curve. Carl, just quickly, have you been keeping up with Fender's lawsuit going on like this past week?
No, I haven't.
You think about this?
No.
Fender has decided to send a cease and desist in an intent to sue with a $250,000, I think it's per infraction, is requiring every manufacturer that's taking an S-body guitar shape to destroy what they have, take back what they have from the retailer, destroy all of it. And they have, I think maybe one. Yeah, they have not bothered to protect their S-style body for however many decades, unlike, Gibson at least has. Yeah. And now they're doing it. They can't do it in America, so they've done it all over Europe. And they sent it to all of the especially the smaller, like, boutique manufacturers, whether it's like Sir, LSL. I don't think that they bother trying to hit PRS. So the point is,
PRS will be like, fuck you, dude.
Exactly.
We've been making these forever.
Exactly. It's like John Mayer came to us because you wouldn't build his Strat.
Yeah.
Don't blame us.
Continuing.
But no, you've got to take a look at this, because you want to talk about like a prime example of burning bridges and PR nightmare. Yeah. They literally sent this out, and in the letter it says you have to pay the lawyers who sent the letter out $3,000 for this. They can't do it in America, so they're doing it in Germany, and they're also hitting the retailers like Tallman. Tallman's really big over in Europe. What they may be trying to do is maybe a shock and awe, and then retract it a little bit because they want to get licensing. But the fact is, and I'm sorry to say, Fender guitars suck. Their quality control has been terrible. It's been just as bad as Gibson's. They're ancient, they're old, they don't innovate. The other guitar manufacturers are around because Fender has failed to innovate on it. Like I would have a Sir any day of the week before I would have, a Fender guitar. Because again,
if you look at all the big names that play Fenders, if you notice, just about every one of them have modified it.
well, yeah, and of course they'll be able to. But for retailers, it's like a privilege to work with Fender. They have to see your showroom. They have to approve it. They have to take up so much percentage of the entire space, and they force you also, at least according to some retailers, and I've seen some of this firsthand, is they require you to buy some of their bad stock. And so it's a parasitic relationship. Whatever happens to Fender, I think is fully justified. They haven't innovated. They've just bought up everything. It looks like they're losing market share and they're becoming irrelevant. And so instead of innovating, they're going to try to bully or take out their competition or monopolize. And it's just stupid.
I have never liked Fender. I've always typically been an Ibanez guy. I love Ibanez. One of my favorite. Actually,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, one of my first guitars, an Ibanez. But I'm an Ibanez guy. I actually had an old. I think it was like a 1980s Fender LP, right? Or
yeah, that one sitting behind me was passed down to me by my dad. So.
Was it? Yeah. So it was the Gibson body shape. Right, the Les Paul body shape, and Fender was, Ibanez was actually sued over it. It was better, sounded better, than the Gibson.
So I figured since you mentioned Ibanez, I was going to show you. This is my Herman Lee Agent signature model. So it's an S. It's a Saber Series Gem. Yeah. So instead of having the monkey grip, it's got a horn here. And it's got their Ibanez Pro with a trim stopper in the back. So it's got a 0-point system. This thing is rock solid. Scallop frets on the top. This has been my main touring guitar for 15 years.
Beautiful.
No, 17 years.
I actually gave my Ibanez, I forget what model it was, to my son. And you know what he ended up buying? A Fender Strat.
You should have told him get an AZ. Get one of those fusion Strats that all those real fast fusion players play. Ibanez makes some awesome Strats.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely. That's one of my favorite. I had a Kramer back in the day. I didn't like that much. Yeah, I didn't care for.
It made some pretty wild ones. Man, I got an old 80s
Charvel.
Japanese Charvel and like a just straight blue, and then I've got a 91 Jackson. Can't remember if it's a Dinky Standard. But I mean, it's made in Japan, and it's got a neck thinner than the Ibanez stuff. And so those guitars are just so fun and easy to play.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, a great Fender with the right coils and the right setup has a very nice, spanky, clean tone that really can't beat. But the only person that's doing stuff like that today, probably, at least that's mainstream, would be like John Mayer's, Is it Slow Dancing in a Burning Room? Whatever that song is.
Yeah.
But I mean, nobody's playing good tones out of those instruments anymore, unless you go back to like Roy Buchanan or a lot of your old country chicken picking players.
Chicken picking.
Don't like tellies. I can't play
chicken picking player. That's me.
Chicken picking. I mean, that is an awesome.
I love that.
It's an awesome way to play. Although it's intense. It's like listening to a banjo.
Yeah,
playing bluegrass. Yeah,
who is that?
Greg Koch. Terrible name, but he's an awesome chicken picking player. Funny as heck too.
Yeah, buddy. I used to love, what was his name? They had a show many years ago called Hee Haw.
Oh, I knew you were going to say Hee-Haw.
Yeah, and Roy Clark was probably the best I'd ever seen at that time.
He is a legend, and he is one of the greatest players ever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was there a guy named Country Boy Eddie? Was that on Hee-Haw?
A Country Boy what?
Country Boy Eddie.
Country Boy Eddie.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
His violin player that was here in Alabama, we got to meet him. I can't remember if he was on Hee-Haw or not, but I mean,
yeah,
everybody grew up watching Hee-Haw back in the day.
It was a good show, no doubt about it.
Who didn't like Hee-Haw? Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, with their horribly racist and discriminatory Southern gospel hymns and
That's
things that you couldn't get away with, say, on TV today, like praise Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Primarily what I play. I play 80s and 90s, the old country music. And I learned how to play. I was in a Pentecostal church for 13 years. And you do a lot of Southern gospel. And that's where I learned that. I'm not near as good as you guys are, but
I barely get to play anymore.
Oh, I fake it.
I barely get to play anymore.
I forced myself to, I've got some headphone. I got a headphone amp I can plug in when I'm downstairs.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But I will say this, as you mentioned,
I got this cool thing that jacks into my guitar and Bluetooth into my phone into GarageBand.
Yeah.
It's the coolest fucking thing ever. I think I told
What's
you.
What's the device? Which one? What's it called?
Oh, I got it off.
You can text it to me later, but
I
like
got
stuff
it off
like
of
this.
Amazon. I'm sure it's Chinese, but it works.
I literally just entered into the looper foray.
Oh boy!
I got my first looper.
Shoegazer.
It is a what is it? Licado.
Nice.
Have you ever seen anything like
I
that?
can't see what.
Jacob?
Oh, yeah, I have. I've seen plenty of those.
Yeah.
The kids buy those things up at the guitar store all the time. I
love my little Yamaha.
Yeah. I was going to tell y'all. Speaking of 80s country, I introduced my wife to some of David Allan Coe's very, very, very bad songs. And good old Charlie Daniels, Uneasy Rider. So she's been listening to a lot of the short of that and just good old Ray Stevens and some Roy D. Mercer.
I don't know where I put it. Now everybody's showing their shit. Now I don't have my fucking.
I have mine somewhere around here. I got one of those Tonex plugs. They work really well because they do the amp profiling.
Yeah, I was looking. I was watching it. I forget what video it was. It was a YouTube video, and the dude had a little jack. You plug it in, charge it, jack it in, and plugs into your electric guitar, and then feeds right into your phone, Bluetooth into your phone, and you can run it through GarageBand on your phone.
Yeah,
which is fucking awesome. And I'm like, I gotta have that. I looked it up and I bought it on Amazon, and I used it.
There's the
and now I have now I have no fucking idea where it is.
There's the Sonic K. The big ones are like the Sonic K, the Veltone.
To be honest, it wasn't super expensive. I think it was only
they're like $60 or like $100.
Yeah, it was fairly cheap.
Dude, they're awesome now with the
and now I have no idea what I did with it. I have microphones everywhere.
Yeah, you'll find it somewhere. But
yeah, I think I told you, like, we rescued this damn cat.
Yeah.
And now all my shit gets knocked over because she's in here because my dogs will eat her. Right? And she's the nicest cat. I don't even like cats, by the way. Just to let everybody know. I'm not a cat person, but this cat. Come here.
Why is it that that people who aren't cat people always.
There he is. He's a gray man like mine.
Yeah, we named her Gracie, right? The only thing is they clipped her ear, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if we were going to keep her. I just didn't want to put her out, and till she healed, and then I ended up being a sucker because that's what I am, and I'm like, you know what, you can just stay back here. And so she stays back here, and
Studio
my
cat.
dog, yeah, she's the studio cat. That's what I call her. And so my dog jumped over the gate I have blocking it off to the back portion of the house, jumped over the gate. I have acoustic tiles on the back side of my door, ripped them off, and then got in, didn't care about the cat, then was scratching the door to get the fuck out.
Oh.
And I'm like, come on, man. Hi, Gracie. But for being a, you see, I guess I have a special relationship with this cat. I've been feeding her for about a year. And I bought her a little house for outside to stay warm in the winter. Little heated house. So I don't know.
Perhaps she wants to come in then if she's so used to being outside.
Dude, you would never know that this cat was a stray cat.
Yeah. She's extremely calm.
Very calm, very easygoing. When I come in, she greets me, jumps, sits on my lap, wants attention. Weirdest thing ever. But yeah.
I have a Papillon puppy. Well, not a puppy anymore. She's about 8 years old. Anyway,
They're all puppies to me.
I'm 100% service connected for post-traumatic stress disorder, and I put my name on a list for a therapy dog. And don't you know, they picked it up, they drove it to me all the way from Georgia. Now, keep in mind, this is in November, and it's colder than the dickens outside. These guys got on motorcycles and brought this dog up to me, and it was flipping amazing. Those guys have brass balls. There's no doubt about it, because riding in that kind of weather for 150 miles, you've got to have some brass. But
so
I'll get. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I had a question real quick, but you can finish your story. I'll ask after you're done. Sorry.
Okay, no, I'm almost done anyway. Just that we've had her now for 8 years, and you'd be surprised. I have a lot of problem with nightmares, and she is so sensitive. She'll snuggle next to my head, my ears, and nuzzle me when I'm having a bad dream. So,
wow. So that was my question.
Special little girl.
Behavior interruption animal.
Yeah, my question was for your post-traumatic stress syndrome. How does she help you as? And you just answered it, I guess. The fact that she's aware. Now, my dogs cause post-traumatic stress syndrome. Anytime Amazon comes to the front door, which is a lot.
Yeah.
My one dog, Theo, the white one, such a sweet dog. He has this thing with boxes. Like, he will attack an Amazon box and just fucking shred it. I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything fragile in there.
You want to see something funny? We've got one of those, what do they call them? It's a vacuum cleaner, a robot-like vacuum cleaner. Boy, you talk about 40 tons of hell. Turn that thing on and cut it loose in the living room, and the dogs and the cats separate to high heaven.
Yeah.
Rennie will just sit there and bark at it.
Well, I'll tell you, man, when the damn possum's in my backyard, my dogs are on that thing like a goddamn fucking flies on shit.
Yeah.
They do not. And real quick, America 93. Yes, the drug cartels produce the product, but they get the raw materials from China.
China is actually that's what they do. They supply the raw materials, even for us, for our prescription drugs we have here. They supply us with the raw materials, and we put it together. You know, it's like you buy a model. You know, you want this model car. It's not already put together. You get it. You have to put it together, and now you have the model. Well, the same with the prescription drugs. They're actually responsible for 95% of all the prescriptions that are written here in the United States. And also we get a lot of our generics from India, right? Yeah. Well, China supplies the precursor chemicals for those drugs to India that we get those drugs from India. So
hey, we're winning. We're winning.
So I'll say as a quick history lesson, then we got to remember with Nixon's administration, with Brzezinski and with Adam Kissinger, that whole planned, and I'm gonna say it was more of a global order thing. China planned in Asia was planned to be the world manufacturer. That we were purposely, even Marco Rubio, you know, for as much stuff as people say about him, and I don't really trust the man itself either. Recently, he did, I forget where exactly at, but it was a speech saying that our deindustrialization didn't have to happen. It was planned. No duh, it was planned.
Yeah.
You know, China was set up as the darling for all manufacturing to go over, an artificial rise of China. So I'm not surprised to see where we are today.
Yeah, our country was sold out a long time ago.
Yeah, our country was sold out a long time ago, just like you could say China was sold out a long time ago. Russia was sold out a long time ago. And these doppelganging, fake and gay abominations were set up as a scheme. They didn't happen organically. Marx was a failure. Marxism didn't happen organically. You know, we, the Western nations, had to send Lenin over there on a train with $1 million to stir up trouble with the Bolsheviks in order to get the Russian monarchy to fall down. And then you just saw nothing but dominoes go all the way around the world. Somebody's overthrowing all these different nations and installing, you know, a fake
puppet government.
Yeah, puppet government. Who is it? Well, it's not any one nation, because we find nations are the ones that are becoming victims. So you would say it's a cabal of private individuals, institutions, and you say multinational organizations. And that's who we've really been fighting a lot. And I think that's where a lot of times we get kind of caught up into the mud. Is I tend to think that a lot of the actions that, you know, what Trump is doing and the kind of battle that we're in is decoupling from that and neutering that order. And it looks messy because everybody wants somebody to blame. And I'm not sure that it's so cut and dry. Like, even we talk about China being the one releasing the virus. Guys, if a virus doesn't exist, like we talk about, what exactly happened? How much of that one is accurate, or how much of that is just a narrative that we'll buy, you know, that MAGA people will bite on easily? It gets a lot more convoluted. And I say a lot of times we don't necessarily know what's going on. So it's best for all of us to mind our own business, meaning do things locally, get our own influence, wealth, power, get active in government, or get active in government, economy, and religion. Because if you have a whole bunch of, well, I say anytime you have a whole bunch of, anytime that you consolidate and conglomerate, you can have all sorts of evil. But if you can decentralize, it makes everything a lot harder to control. I mean, easier said than done, but that's what we have to keep in mind.
All right. Well, there you go. That's tonight's podcast. Big Tony, where can they find you?
First off, I want to say, Jacob, you were right about one thing. This country needs Jesus badly.
Amen.
Man.
You can find me on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all over the place. Do me a favor and go search me out. Just put Big Tony Speaks in the search and follow me. And I'm on live Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Plenty of opportunities for you to come and see me. And when you do, remember, Big Tony will speak on it.
There you go. All right, Larry, where can they find you?
You can generally find me with James in the Empty Pockets podcast on Saturdays at 3 o'clock. We're discussing this week, we're talking about Agent Orange and its effect on veterans, where the VA is at. I also do a cast on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock, promote my website, newsfromlarry.com. Talk about a mishmash of product or mishmash of things, but many years ago I was shot down in a helicopter over Cambodia, and we're going to be discussing that.
Well, that's fucking frightening.
Yeah.
yeah, you think?
So, Larry, if I showed you my wife, would it send you into shock?
Did what?
What?
But don't forget to give me a follow at lbarnett777.
Do it, folks. Do it, folks. Well, I can tell you, Jacob will be joining me Saturday morning on the radio show, and we're going to be talking about a subject. Well, I was supposed to be looking into, but I'm not going to lie, I haven't. Ayn Rand. So
Ayn Rand? Okay, yeah.
You know,
okay.
So Dan, the producer, is a huge fan. I know she's got
Fountainhead, man.
Yep, Fountainhead book turned into a movie. And what's the other one? There was another book.
Atlas Shrugged was the big one.
Atlas Shrugged. She was a Russian Jew, I believe, right? That came over to America. And that's about as far as I got. So, you know, the problem is I got to be really interested in something.
ADD.
Yeah. Too many things going on. My brain is.
It's like trying to sit down and listen to Chopin or Wagner. You know it's good.
Yeah.
You know that they had something real big to say, but you can't just sit down and turn that on. You've got to give a lot of your attention to it. And a lot of times it's just hard to do that today.
Yeah, and I'm not good with that kind of stuff because I've got a billion things going on. I'm still, and by the way, the radio show 6 to 8, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 now. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. So the launch date will be, no matter what, the launch date is June 1st. So June 1st is the launch date, and we'll see how it goes.
Going to be great, man.
It's going to be great. I just got to really pay attention because, and I'm saving the call segment to the final hour of the show. So the last hour I'll be taking calls because I got to try to sink it in and make sure that I'm taking breaks properly and stuff. So it's going to take me a little bit to get used to it. And I did it the one time and I did okay, but I did F up a little bit. I don't have a producer, so I'm all in one, trying to follow automated stations.
Are you doing all that one by yourself? No, Dan's not.
No, it's a
riding with you on
separate
that one? Okay.
Yeah, it's a separate. It's going through Seaboard's main automated station out of Baltimore. And then going
5 days. Okay. Well, 5 days a week will train you real quick, but that's a lot.
Well, hey, it's what it is, and I'll figure it out. I'm actually the one that's pushed it off that long because I'm not prepared. And thank you guys at Seaboard for being patient with me. I've had a hell of 2 weeks going on, and trying to figure that out, and just I know it just looks like a piece of paper and then the clock on the tablet they sent me, but it's a little more complicated than that. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it because I'm used to having Dan in my ear go, "Hey, 5 minutes till break, 5 minutes to the end of the show," and hearing the music. But I got to handle all that. But it's all right. I will do it, and I will persevere. Right? So
Yeah, you will.
With that being said, we'll have guests on. Like I'm sure Jacob will be on with me, and real quick, Monday. I know it's Memorial Day, but at 1:00 I will have Michael Macaulay on from Flip Philly Red. You've seen his videos. I played him in the beginning of my cold opens. He goes up to the city council and gives them hell about illegal immigration and stuff. So he'll be on Monday, 1:00. Great guy, super patriot. And this is part of my plan, is to go into these inner cities and take our country back from the inner city, because I believe that's where we win. I believe that's where we win. If we can go in, bring those inner city groups into America First, and show them the light of self-governance, like Michael's doing, that's how we win. So we need to highlight people like that, and people like at the end of my cold open, I'm going to try to get that guy on too, because they're the people that are making a difference. They're putting their neck out there on the line and calling out city councils, and letting them know it, how it is. Much like Jake Lang, which I'm actually going to have him on again. It threw me for a little shock the first time. I didn't realize it was that level of great guy, though. Very nice guy. He's got a great news app too, which I'll not prepare it. I'll put it out there the next time. But he's got a great news app with stuff streaming on it and stuff. So Blessed News, I think that's what it's called. Go to the App Store, Blessed News. A lot of great stuff on there. A lot of great biblical words of God on there and stuff. And a lot of different just streaming. Plus stuff on the Muslim invasion in Texas and all over. So Jake Lang is a great guy. And Royce White, USA.org, I believe. Go to roycewhiteusa.org and go to Free People Radio and support Royce and Professor Penn. And I had to reschedule. I will be on their show one of these days. I had to reschedule, because I've had a crazy work schedule. And I wasn't able to get off during the day. So I'll let you know when I'm going to do that. You can follow Royce and Professor Penn on Rumble here. Go to Free People Radio and follow them. They start at 8:00 every morning. You can follow them on Getter, on the War Room on Steve Bannon's channel. And you can also follow them on X at Free People Radio. Great company. Great people, and great debate. It's different. That's what I love about it. It's not typical Rhino radio, where you're hearing the same regurgitated White House talking points. You're hearing a different perspective from people that are out there fighting the good fight. And Royce White for Minnesota, U.S. Senate. If you can donate to his campaign, please do. All right. That's it for tonight, folks. And Jacob, where can they find you? I almost forgot about you, Jacob. And we can't. BeyondDetox.com /Killer Carl /Killer Carl. Carl 5.
Carl 5.
So Jacob is the man. And I've said this, worked with Dan, producer Dan, worked with Murphy, works with James, Larry, does he work? I think he worked with you.
Larry, call me next week, and also Larry too. When you talk about the Agent Orange, if you'd like me to come on and talk a little bit about help either with detoxing that, how it works, how there's hope for people that have been poisoned by it, I can come on and talk to the people about that.
Why don't you just plan on doing that Saturday at 3? I think that's a great idea.
Hey, Murphy, I just saw you in the chat.
Expecting a call from me, Jake.
I'll check my schedule and see if I can. I know I've got we got some. I'll see if I can make it. If nothing else, I might be able to call in and talk while I'm on the road.
There you go.
Well, we need to talk soon anyway. I got something I got to give you later.
Yeah. I want to.
It's not herpes, right?
Anyway.
Don't worry. I don't use my tongue. I'm just a lip
the
guy.
Gift that keeps giving.
Carl. Leave it to Carl.
I had to go there, Larry. IronBeanCoffee.com, IronBeanCoffee.com, the best coffee on the planet. Support Iron Bean Coffee, BeyondDetox.com/Killer Carl. You see it all scrolling at the bottom of the podcast. Right, that's right. All these great companies, they're all affordable. That's what I love about it. And they all give you quality of life, right? You've got a Meraki Medicinal.com. Go there. Go to Patriot Pouch USA.com. Listen, it's a nicotine alternative. Stop the nasty chewing tobacco. Stop the nasty smoking. Go to Patriot Pouch USA.com. And I believe you can get 10% off if you use promo code KillerCarl10. KillerCarl10. And by the way, if you need a set of tires, I keep on, I forget about Professor Penn and TireGet. If you need a set of tires.
I need to hear this. I need some tires.
Okay. Go to TireGet.com. Use KillerCarl3 promo code. You're going to get 3% off. They will ship them to a tire company near you, and $100 mountain balanced out the door. It's all taken care of. You just pay on the site. Professor Penn is a patriot. A lot of the money that he makes from his tire business goes in to help candidates like Royce White and also to run Free People Radio. So you are supporting a patriot. If you have any questions, you can always give Professor Penn a call. They have a number there, and you'll end up probably talking to him or one of his great customer service people to make sure you get the right tires. It's a simple process. Go there today. If you need tires, it's the best place. You're going to save money. They're going to beat Walmart's prices, and you're going to get a great product from a great company that actually cares about America. Go to TireGet.com. The promo code KillerCarl3. Do it today. Like Jacob's doing. He's going to go get some tires. He needs tires. You need tires anyway. It's summertime, baby. You're going to take those long road trips. You want your kids to be safe. You want your family to be safe. Don't go to Walmart. Go to TireGet. Ship them to a provider near you that they've partnered with. And you're going to support a great company and get a great product. With that being said, good night. God bless. We will see you Saturday morning.
Peace.
Killer Carl Radio Show. Later, guys.
Take it easy.
I'm out.
Later, everyone.